Hello there, this is Evelyn from Evelyn Art, back with some She-Ra stickers. I've been meaning to make a video on these for a while, but I severely underestimated how long it would take to edit. Yeah, you might want to sit down, grab a cuppa, get a snack. This one's going to be a lot longer than the last few videos. I apologise in advance. But yeah, so today we're drawing the characters from She-Ra, the She-Ra reboot from, 2018? Yeah, 2018. Because it finished after Voltron ended. I mean, it started right before Voltron ended. Whew, what a time. Oh lord. Like most, well, I think it was most, I found She-Ra through my experience in the Voltron fandom, which was something. Yeah, and look, I loved Voltron, but that ending was devastating. But we're not here to talk about that today. So after that, She-Ra came out, or just before it ended. So I jumped straight on the train because I'm like, oh, this looks cute. Similar style, same, made by DreamWorks as well. Hopefully it's not going to have a disappointing ending. And it didn't. That was a brilliant ending, but you know, no spoilers. Actually, there will be a spoiler of like the final design of She-Ra, so like, if you haven't finished it and you don't want to see like design spoilers, if you're like me and you're like one of those people, yeah, fair warning. But sticking to the point, the ending was fabulous. I love the show, and it was well worth joining on. Everyone also seemed, if you watched both Voltron and She-Ra, you would probably have discovered Dragon Prince before Erebos was a thing. I feel like Dragon Prince wasn't nearly as well known until Elf with the, you know, deep voice showed up, and suddenly everyone knew what Dragon Prince was, and I was like, well, fair enough. He's great. Yeah, Dragon Prince is still really good, and the only one that's ongoing. It's been on hiatus for so long. It's so sad. I know the rest of the seasons have been greenlit, but I'm not sure how far away that is. Hopefully soon. Anyway, so for the stickers themselves, this is like the first sticker batch I've ever made. I really want to sell more stickers. I made these for my Redbubble, which is like, you know, if you hadn't heard of Redbubble, it's like an online store where artists upload their art and the manufacturers make them to order and ship them out. It's really good. I buy a lot of stuff from there, which is how I knew to go there to sell stuff. And I've sold a couple of things, so it's been great. And speaking of which, all of these are on there if you want to. But I also want to open my own like separate online store where like I actually make the items myself. Because I see a lot of artists do that everywhere, and it looks, I don't want to say fun, but it does. It looks fun, don't get me wrong. I understand it's stressful, but like, let me live my naive dreams. So I want to try and do that this year. Unfortunately, these are like a lot of stickers to try and do separate printings of. I was considering making them at home, but I'd need to buy a new printer, and I don't think that's feasible right now. So I'm gonna try and get some manufactured, but I think I'll have to make a smaller batch before I try that. But yeah, something like that's definitely on the way. I'm gonna be working on some stuff. But yeah, so with these ones, because it's my first sticker batch, I didn't really know like where to start with compositions. I designed as I went, and that led to a very mismatched collection. Like, a lot of them are different sizes, unfortunately, and a lot of them are a bit out of whack. And it's something I fixed I made like a separate sticker where you could get them like all tiny and get them in like little batches on Redbubble, which I think are really cute. So they're actually the same size, but the original stickers I think I'd have to fix. And I don't know how to do that, so I'm just chilling until I figure it out. Yeah, so the compositions don't match as well and all that sort of issues. I drew the original designs in my sketchbook, and then just like kind of drew these over the top for some of them. For the rest, I kind of just had an idea and redrew it digitally. It really depends on like what or who I'm drawing. See if I like need to do that. And chapter I've drawn a few times, so that was fine. Same with like Perfumer. weirdly, I've drawn them the most. I say weirdly, I do love them, but like, I don't know, it's just kind of odd. Something really odd about all of this is like, She-Ra is the fandom I've done the most fan art for, but it's not necessarily my favorite series of all time. Like Carmen Sandiego was my absolute favorite show for a while. Yes, it was just because of Julia. Don't mind me. Don't come at me. I loved that show. But that was it never reached its potential, and I think it was cancelled early. They didn't say it was cancelled early, but like, when you watch it, you know. And I've done a lot less fan art for that show. I just find it interesting. I feel like She-Ra has some really catchy designs that just make you want to draw them. And She-Ra's definitely what helped me like get my practice in for digital art because I first got my AbHad at like the very end of 2018. And I've been, you know, slowly getting better, slowly but surely, at digital art. I will definitely throw in some pictures about some of the early stuff I've drawn. Enjoy, but it's not great. I mean, like, good for some just starting, but you know, looking back, yeah. Just gotta say here, I have had to move, and my window's open, so there might be some background noise. Hopefully it's not too bad. Sorry in advance. But one thing I do love about this series is that every character is amazing. Genuinely, I don't think any characters are hated in this. I think the closest thing is Hordak, but he has his fans, and you know, fair enough. I know each character is, I don't know, just so cared for by the writers and the developers of the series. It's just so nice to see. I should mention, currently I'm drawing Perfuma. The little picture in the corner is something I've drawn of her before, previous fan art. And I used it for reference while I was working on this one because, you know, I was really proud of it at the time, and I was going to steal the colours from it, but I think one thing I've noticed as my art's developed in the past couple of years is I use a lot more vibrant colours than I ever used to. I used to use a lot of muted in comparison, compared to what I do now, which I like. I like that it's become a bit more bright and colourful. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. Every character is so cared for by the creators, and there's just so much to love about every character. Even Adora, who's, you know, very much a protagonist in terms of base personality, but she's just a silly jock, and I love her so much. Obviously, there's a lot more to her character, and that's like proof of how much she's loved, you know? She's just, there's so much to every character besides their already lovable base archetypes. Catra was an interesting journey to experience, because I know there were quite a few fans who found her toxic by the end of the series, and I like how the show handled the difficult story of hers, and how far she had to go to, you know, really find her feet after, you know, that abuse she'd been facing her whole life. Because, gosh, I also love how they handled the darker themes of the series and their history. Yeah, one big staple of the series is how queer it is. Yeah, which I obviously love. I'm gay myself, so it's very lovely to see how easy it is for the show. It wasn't easy but for the creators, but like the show feels like it's just easy to represent while you're watching it. I do know everyone put in so much effort to make sure everything happened as they wanted it to. Another show I think is really amazing and is kind of similar to She-Ra is Kipo, so if you haven't checked that out and you love She-Ra, Kipo is a really good series as well. Only 3 seasons, and it's really good. Yeah, there are so many shows. And it's kind of like a genre, I guess. Is it really a genre? I guess a lot of them are made by DreamWorks, but I think quite a few shows have fallen into this. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it. What I'm currently getting through is The Owl House. No spoilers, please. Which I've been meaning to watch forever, and I'm finally getting to it. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really bad at getting through shows, so it's probably going to be a while before I finish it, but art's definitely going to happen for that one, I can guarantee. I already want to do some Art for the Grom episode, but I'm going to wait till I finish, and then just do a bunch of it at once, I think. We'll see. But I love that show already, and I'm still early days. I think the Grom episode's the last one I watched. You'd think I'd have raced through, because that's been my favourite episode, but I've got this really bad habit of stopping straight after my favourite part or a massive cliffhanger. I'm like, okay, I'm good now. And it's really bad. I do it with everything though. But yeah, so that's another recommendation, I suppose. Check out Owl House if you like She-Ra. Even though I haven't finished it, but I just gotta drop that here. My personal favourite characters were Scorpia and Entrapta. I loved their friendship. They were just adorable. And Scorpia is, not gonna lie, probably my dream woman. And Entrapta, I love her. I'm someone that also gets very excitable about my special interests, and I can really babble and get distracted. By a lot of things. So I found Entrapta relatable, but my ultimate character that I always fall in love with is the science girl. I say science girl, sometimes they're non-binary, but I use that as a general term for, I guess, the science character, but not man. You know what I mean? Science, not man. Because they're just, I don't know, something about them. Like Hanji from Attack on Titan. Have I mentioned this before? I might have mentioned this in the previous video. That's very likely. But then Entrapta definitely fits into that category where she's just so into what she loves, and I love characters like that. I love listening to people talk about what they love. It makes me very happy. I can also be a bit like that. I don't know. It's nice. My ultimate crush besides Hanji is Doc Ock from Into the Spider-Verse. I can't wait for Into the Spider-Verse 2. I just hope she's in it. Well and truly, my dream. But yeah, moving on. Scorpia is an amazing character. She goes through a lot, and I can't believe how much they did with her character, because when she was introduced, I thought she would just be, barely there. She'd be a part of the series for sure, but, she wouldn't get as much development as she did. And that scene in season 5 where she's wearing her dress again. That dress, by the way, perfection. The little black dress. For a long time there, I really shipped Scorpia and Lonnie. Sorry. Because, I don't know, their dynamic was fantastic, but I liked how everything ended up. And, Rogario? Oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name. It's something like that. And Kyle and Lonnie is a very good. I love all three of them together very much. Yes. But yeah, what a fantastic series. If you haven't watched it yet, I know I haven't actually said much. I think I've faffled about quite a bit. I'm sorry. If it's any consolation, when I fix up the subtitles, I'll be listening to myself too. So, at least you're not alone. I think I can gladly say I'm finally getting used to editing, so hopefully the quality of that will start getting higher as I figure out this program, because I'm not gonna lie, I can't do research for the life of me. Like I can, but it takes a really long time because not a lot of it sticks, and I can't do it for more than 20 minutes. I really try. The university and, the 3 months I was there, and the high school really proved that. But here, look, sliding effects. I'm moving up in the world, lads. I truly am. And that just about wraps up this video, so I hope you have a lovely day, a happy week, and a great month. See you next time!